So in today's video, we are going to be talking about all the brand new leaked FC25 content, including the first EVO, the first promo, and so much more. So between now and the 6th of October, I'm going to be uploading a daily free eafc25 trading guide. This will include everything to do on the web app to make as many coins as possible with both trading and investing. I'll be talking about the full release, what we expect to see regarding the market, and there'll also be a daily updated investing guide, all in there, updated every day for free. No gimmicks whatsoever, all you gotta do is click on the Google Docs link on the top link of the description. So in today's video, what we're going to be doing is we are going to be walking through all the stuff that has been leaked, and we're going to be talking about the market implications this sort of stuff has. We're also going to be talking about the season pass. We're going to be talking about, again, the first promo. We're going to be talking about how Team of the Week 1s are looking, which is extremely nice. And we've got loads and loads of content to go through. So without further ado, let's go and bring up the first thing that we are going to be talking about in today's video. And that is the first evolution. Now, we did originally think that the first evolution was going to be the FC25 Founders Evo, which was the one where you put in a striker and you get a power shot. Well, actually, new information has come out to say that this Evo actually isn't going to come out as of until the 27th. So, yeah, if you guys did go and buy the Ultimate Edition, expecting to go and get the, the Founders Evolution, which again we got literally straight away last year. Yeah, we're not getting it this year. I guess it's maybe not sold as a Founders Evolution, it's just sold as an additional evolution. But last year, obviously, if you bought the Ultimate Edition, you got the evolution straight off the bat. So yeah, you're not going to get that until the full release of the game, until the 27th, meaning this is going to be our new Founders Evolution. So, or at least the new evolution straight from the go. And it is called Intro to Stat Limits. Now this completely makes sense because actually the introduction of stat limits is actually quite a confusing one. So I'll go through in today's video. So the requirements is a maximum of 82 overall, and that's really, really important. And then the boosts are a maximum of +3 shooting, which will take them to a maximum of 86. They don't word it very well, but what they mean here is it can take them to the maximum. It doesn't let you use a maximum of 86 shooting, so it lets you use a maximum of 83 shooting to get upgraded to 86. Again, the wording is pretty appalling. You get a +2 dribbling to take them to a maximum of 87 dribbling, and a +1 skill moves taking them to a maximum of 4-star skill moves. Now, they've called it here Introduction to Stat Limits because stat limits are actually changing how EVOs and how you can put players into EVOs. So what it was previously is it'd be something maybe like maximum 86 shooting, and if someone had over 86 shooting, you wouldn't be able to use them. But now the only sort of requirement, or at least in this EVO, that really is, I guess you can't move upon, is the 82 max limit. All these are a lot more flexible. So what do I mean by this? Well, because it's got requirements maximum 82 rated, you can in theory use absolutely any 82 rated you want in the game. But the stats that they're going to upgrade to can only cap out of these. So what do I mean by this? Well, again, you can use anyone with any sort of shooting. So for example, let's say I wanted to go and put in Suarez, right? I don't know why. I could go and put in Suarez, but because it'll only take them to a maximum of 86 shooting, even though it's a +3, it'll only take Suarez to 86 shooting. Meaning in theory, the EVO, to put this EVO onto Suarez wouldn't be very efficient because I'm not really utilising the EVO. Likewise, +1 skill moves maximum 4. So if let's say we went with, let's go up someone's skill moves. Let's say when we Zhao, well, I mean, I guess you can't improve on 5, can you anyway? Let's say we went with Sule right here. Because he's got 4-star skills, if I was going to go and put him in this EVO, it wouldn't go and take him to 5-star skills, it just would null and void that sort of upgrade. So again, it's quite nice because it allows there to be more depth in who you can go in EVO. It's not as good for traders because with traders you kind of want everyone doing the same sort of EVO players. Because there's saturation, it shows there's good demand, whereas again, because it's a lot more broad, it means that the demand's going to be spread across more cards, meaning you can't really, I guess you're not going to see as high inflation. But for a player base, this is actually really good for you guys. Because if you guys have like random bronze and silvers that never seem to be able to put into EVOs, again, the only thing that really is concrete here is the 82 rating. Everything else is a bit more flexible. So, as I said, you can go and put in anyone. I've got a few examples of players that I think are really, really nice. Well, I've got someone actually as an example of someone who I think utilises each of the upgrades. And I've got players that I just think are really good. So how I looked at this, and I looked at this and saying, do you know what? They'll let you use any pace whatsoever. That's amazing. They'll let you use, well, I guess in theory you can use any dribbling, but you can use any pace because pace doesn't get upgraded whatsoever. You can use any physical because physical's not getting upgraded and capped out. So all you want to do is find someone who's got all the stats, apart from a bit of shooting, a bit of dribbling, and a bit of weak foot. Now the player that I came across for this was FLAIR. because Fella's only got 3-star skills, which means she utilises the +1 skills. She's only got 80 shooting, which means she gets the +3 on the shooting, taking her to an 83. She's only got 81 dribbling, which she gets a +2 and takes her to 83 dribbling. So this would be a player that would like utilise all of those upgrades, but you don't really have to go with players that utilise all the upgrades. I think there's one really nice player, and this is a Naki Williams. And like I said, you can use any pace whatsoever. The only concrete thing is you can't use anything above an 82. Now, he doesn't utilise the +1 skill moves because, again, it's capped out at 4, so you don't utilise that, sadly. But he does utilise the other stats, and he's got extremely high pace. So when that's added to these other stats, that's really nice. So, for example, he's going to get the +3 shooting, taking him to 84 shooting, and he's going to go and get himself the +2 dribbling, taking him to 82 dribbling. So again, even though he doesn't utilise the skill move upgrade, he still utilises the others. The other player I've thrown in is Correa. Now, Correa doesn't utilise the upgrades quite as much. Likewise, he doesn't receive the skill move upgrade because you can't upgrade after 4. We then move on to the dribbling. He only goes from an 86 to an 87. So again, even though it's +2 because it caps out 87, he only will get 87. But his shooting gets a +2. So again, other players really get a +3, but because the shooting's capped out 86, he'll only get a +2 there. Other players, likewise, on the dribbling can get a +2, but because he's already near the cap, he caps out there at 87. So Correa and Naki Williams, I do think, are going to be the most demanded for these. These are just because these gold cards are demanded in the first place, let alone if you let them use in an an EVO. And Fella, I think, if you care about utilising all the upgrades, there it is. Again, on the post, we'll cover that in a second, they've thrown in players like Jolington, Chan, and then Renato Sanchez. The only problem is I feel like skill moves, dribbling, and shooting on these three is a bit wasted in comparison to throwing on some forwards. Now, what do I think this will do for the price? I think because, again, it's very broad, I do definitely think you will see an increase in demand for Naki Williams and Correa. And these sort of players last year were really good to go and trade with. I'll show you someone like Darwin Núñez. Because what would happen is these cards would have such consistent demand. These cards would have such consistent demand because they're being used for the EVO every single day, making them really good to trade with. Because anytime they dropped, you knew there was always going to be more demand, and they would just go up again, or they'd hold their price. And that occurred all the way until the full release. Now, this EVO they would demand for last year is a little bit different because this EVO was a Founders EVO, which meant when the full game came out, people when the full game came out couldn't have done the EVO, so the card dropped. But between here and here, he held his price really well and was a really nice card to go and trade with. Again, you could go like mass buy him after packs and then just go and sell him like 3-4 PM the following day. So, yep, that's nice. I don't know if I have too much more to go and say. The EVO, yeah, decent first EVO. Again, I don't think it's anything too crazy, but I definitely think it's a good introduction when it comes to, what the new EVO, what the new system's about. Any questions you've got regarding that, just throw in the comment section. I don't mind answering it. I understand it's a little bit different because it's change, but I actually think it's a really good change for you guys playing the game. Not so good of a change for traders, but in the end of the day, a lot of traders were getting banned because they would buy these special cards at 20k. They'd go extinct at 100k, sell them at 100k, and because EA didn't understand that these special cards would go up to 100k, people would get banned. But yeah, that's going to wrap that up regarding the first EVO. The second thing is the first promo, although I'll be honest with you, I don't think Adama Traore is necessarily going to be the first promo. I think that's going to be the player we can talk about later. Adama Traore has come out here with a World Tour player. Again, I wouldn't look into it too much. He's getting himself a Playstyle Plus. I don't believe he has any Playstyle Plus in his base card, and actually it did receive a downgrade. Apparently you can play Striker as well. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like too much of a game-breaking card, but it looks like a substitute that you're going to play a lot. So what can we take away from Adama Traore being the first leaked player as World Tour? Well, I'll be honest with you, I don't think World Tour is anything too crazy, because I think it is practically this. I don't think, I think if it's Stevie 1 that could see the comparisons between this card and this is just it's a season pass objective sort of card. We had loads of these. We got a Wobie, we had Kone. Kone was, I believe, the first season pass. Matthias Tuna. But the interesting thing that I think is that last year I believe we got multiple options. For example, you could have chose a Wobie, Kone, or Tuna. Whereas this year only Adama's leaked. And obviously it's quite early days and we still got ourselves another 3 days until the web app's coming out. But it'll be interesting if they're going to now switch from letting you choose 1 of 3 players for the season pass to only allowing 1 player. On the topic of season pass, you guys will probably want to know, is this only going to be for the premium season pass? It has either been said by EA or leaked that no players are going to be locked into the season pass, as in the premium season pass. If you guys aren't aware, EA is releasing a premium season pass, which was, at least on the beta, it was like 500k or 1.5k FIFA points, but they said in this premium season pass, there's not going to be any players that you can't unlock in the normal pass. So it's believed to be that this guy would be in the free pass, not the season pass. Again, we'll talk a little bit more about the season pass in a minute. But yeah, so Adama Traore, I believe, is just going to be probably the end objective, just like someone like Iwobi was the end objective there. I also don't think, again, it's anything more. I don't think it's really a promo. I think it's literally just an objective card, remasters World Tour. Again, I don't think there's too much more to look into it. So where there is more to look into is the second promo that's leaked tonight. I actually think this is going to be a promo that's in packs. And this promo is called Total Rush. Now, the first season pass we know is called Total Rush. And EA, you know, is very renowned for putting in players from promos into the season passes. And I think they'll do the exact same thing here with Muriel. There's quite a lot of interesting things to look into this. First off, the card is nothing too crazy. Second off, Muriel is actually the only Total Rush player leaked, which is, even though it's not guaranteed that these are objective players, when there's only a few players leaked, it normally means that they're going to be the ones in the season pass, and then when there's loads of players leaked, it normally means a promo team. So I'd be very surprised if Muriel is going to be in a promo team and not going to be in the season pass. Also, the player selection just screams season pass, you know, a non-top 5 league, which I'm going to go into in a sec. So there's a lot of investing opportunities now that we know this information, obviously when the game comes out. But yeah, it just screams season pass and would be a really weird player for them to leak first if, you know, that was going to be the promo. Upgrade, I mean, it kind of fits in, I guess, a little bit with last year. I don't actually have his previous card. Let's go and load it up. I presume they've just gone for a big old upgrade. I mean, +6 pace. Obviously, no, he probably got some minor playstyle boosts. I doubt they probably move him up from a 4-star 4-star, because for me that's probably already good enough. On an attacker, shooting's received a +6. Physical's received a +10. Got +5 dribbling. Again, it's a very starter player. You'll probably get EVOs galore better than this card. But what is really interesting about Muriel getting the first, well, in my opinion, being a season pass card? Well, this is kind of comparable to players like Caldogu getting a season pass last year. But why do we care about Caldogu being in the season pass? Well, there was a very consistent trend last year that whatever players were in the season pass, we would then get objectives for that month. So, for example, Caldogu, who played in the Turkish Super League, was in the season pass. So what did we get objective players for? We got ourselves objective players for Orisic, who was in the season pass. And when did we go and get ourselves Orisic? We went and got ourselves Orisic on the 30th September. You know, a few days after the release of FIFA. So whatever leagues are in the season pass last year, we then went and got objectives for. And we can use this in our favour to make money. Because if we know what players or what leagues are going to come out as objectives, we can make investments. So again, remember that I said that the Orisic, so the Super League objective player, which again needed you to use Super League players, look what he did. So we got someone like Bowie here, who went from 1.7 and he went up here to 2.8k. Again, I'm sure there might be better examples out there. I just grabbed a few players that I thought would be popular. We got ourselves Zaha, went down to discard, then went up there to 1.4k. And I'm sure I could probably go and find maybe some silvers. I could probably go and find some certain positions. So I kind of was like, well, yeah, if the Superliga players went up when the Superliga objective came out, and we've got Muriel, let's have a look at some of the MLS players. So I looked into one position, because I'll be honest with you, I looked at the MLS players, and normally the best thing to do is just sort via pace, because of course, especially in leagues like this, the whole league is just trash. You know, like, it's a retirement league. You know, Giroud's retired there with 45 pace. Suarez retired there with 64 pace. You just don't have anyone who's at least high rated and really stand out. You know, you've got Jordi Alba. So there's this one trend in FIFA that obviously if you've got to use a MLS team, then you've got to use an MLS goalkeeper. And with some of these minor leagues, they just don't have many goalkeepers. So the MLS, for example, has Lloris, Berke and Blake. So you go, okay, you know, maybe they're all rare. Well, actually, I looked on the database and every single one of these is non-rare. Now, if you guys don't know, non-rares are rarer than rares because non-rares are discarded more, they're put into SBCs more, and they're just, you know, overly they're valued less. And because of that, they're discarded way more, which means, let's say if people are going to want to go and buy themselves a Lloris. Now, if this card was rare, I mean, it'd probably be great for SBC solutions, but, you know, and by the way, if Lloris is expensive for SBC solutions, that would then mean that there's literally only 2 goalkeepers you can use. Saying Lloris is 2k, that would be cheap. So the idea again is because they're non-rare, there's a lack of supply. So if people are going to go and build MLS teams and they need to use one of these 3 goalkeepers unless they're content in using silvers, it should mean that these goalkeepers would go from about 400 coins up to about 1 to 1.5k. And Lloris would even maybe push like 2 to 2.5k. Now this is subjective on how many MLS players you would need for this MLS objective, and probably when they'd release them in FIFA. You know, if we're a few promos in, you know, obviously last year they released it, I think it was like 5 days after the release, maybe 3-4 days after the full release. But if they're going to release it maybe a promo or two in, then there'll be a lot more supply. But if they release it very early game, in theory there's a lot less supply. So yeah, there's sort of one angle you guys can look for there is if we are likely to go and get MLS objectives because there's an MLS player in the season pass, then you're looking at buying goalkeepers. Again, normally I would look at buying the meta players, but it is really, really hard to call what sort of players people are going to go out. You know, they're going to go and buy this guy, but then the problem is if this guy's a rare gold, then he's going to have so much supply on the market, and you know, you can almost just wait for the objective to come out, then go and buy them. Is he rare? Let's have a little look. If he's non-rare, it'd be brilliant. No, he's rare, so again, there'll just be so many of this guy on the market. So unless you can go and find people who are like hidden gems, or you know, gems to this who are non-rare, there's just going to be so much supply. I mean, buying Muriel's base card probably wouldn't be a bad shout, but yeah, so it's quite a saturated league when it comes to the attack. But if you look in the defence, it's a lot less saturated, and as a result, these players should be good little investments. So that's going to go and cover the Muriel. I mean, let me see if I have any more notes about him. I don't think I do. Oh, we'll talk a little bit more about the season pass, I guess. But yeah, so you've got the premium season pass and the basic season pass. As I say, we had these in the beta. We've got this sort of stuff here. So the season pass is quite interesting because there's objectives in both pro clubs, ultimate team, and career mode. We had no idea there'd be objectives in career mode, but the rewards seem to be only ultimate team and pro clubs. So it's very weird that there's career mode objectives in there. So the idea is, you'll be given a bunch of objectives at the beginning of the season. You complete them and you get rewards. Now I presume they'll also do what they did in Ultimate Team this year, where you get your weekly objectives. Because I think in the beta we had like weekly objectives. But yeah. Now regarding what this might do for the market, by the way, unless the season pass is insane, I don't think the season pass does anything to the market. But if the season pass is really good, then actually I think it will have an impact like an Icon SBC. So you know, with an Icon SBC, you know, they release them in about 300-400k, and everyone's like, ooh, I don't have 300-400k, I don't even have 300-400k worth of fodder. So what they have to do is, you know, I'll sell my striker, I'll sell my defender, I'll downgrade my midfielder down to a gold card from a special card. With the season pass is absolutely insane that people can't miss out on, I would expect at the beginning of each season, especially if, you know, they ramp it up and it's better than last year and there's more hype, and then people aren't anticipating to do the season pass and then they do the season pass, I'd expect a sort of Icon SBC like crash if there's a lot of demand, which I don't think there really will be. And you'd see the market drop probably from the release of the season pass early in the morning, maybe through to pre-6 PM content or just post-6 PM content, and then the market will rebound from the next few days because, again, anyone who wanted to sell their players in their club to do the season pass would have already done it. But I think this is an unlikely outcome because I just don't think the season pass is going to be quite that desired. And yeah, I believe that's what we have. So that's the season pass covered. We are now going to go and cover, I believe we're covering Team of the Weeks now. We are covering Team Week. So Team of the Week, we're into Team of the Week 1. Team of the Weeks run between Wednesday all the way through to Monday evening's game, which means with the new Team of the Week coming next Wednesday, anything between last Wednesday through to next Monday is going to be in Team of the Week 1. Now, we've talked a little bit about Team of the Week 1 quite a lot in different videos, but I'll run you through just the basic stuff. If you're interested, I've got, I think, a video called What Should You Buy and Sell at the beginning of FIFA, and I cover Team of the Week 1. But I'll give you guys a little brief rundown. So, the Team of the Weeks that were around about 20k last year, the Team of the Weeks outperformed gold cards. Gold cards did not rise as much as Team of the Weeks, who were 20k last year. Team Weeks between 20k to 50k were as good as investing in gold cards, if anything, a little bit worse. Team of the Weeks who were between 50k to 100k, you would have made more money investing in the gold cards who are 50 to 100k. And the top end Team of the Week, so if we're talking like Haaland's going to get a Team of the Week, so let's say Vinicius Jr. got a Team of the Week, these Team of the Weeks outperformed gold cards, but they didn't outperform icons. So regarding Team Weeks being an investment, they're not really the best investment compared to gold cards and icons. But if you did want to go and invest in a gold card who was 20k or below, they didn't do very well. But if you invested in a Team of the Week 20k and below, they did pretty well, as long as they weren't like discard ones. So let's talk a little bit about who should get a Team of the Week for Week 1 of FIFA. And we'll talk about how much I think they'll be, and, you know, as a result, where do they fit. So Adeyemi came in this week with 2 goals and assists for a 4-2 win over Heidenheim. People complain about my butchering of players' names. Hopefully my clubs aren't as bad. So yeah, 2 goals and assists, I'd almost guarantee a team of the week. Interesting enough, by the way, Adeyemi is actually a gold non-rare card. Now, normally what would happen is if we predict someone getting a team of the week, we'd buy the gold card would go up in the hype, and then we'd sell it in the hype. Because the idea of something's out of pack, it rises. It doesn't always rise, but I tell you what it does do, it does rise going into Wednesday because of the hype. But because we're anticipating the web app on the 18th and the team of the week would be on the 18th, normally they release them together, so it wouldn't be a case of buying Adeyemi because we think he goes out of packs, because the idea is his gold card probably would never be in packs because they'll release him only when the team of the week's in packs. But yeah, Adeyemi, I do imagine this card would come in about 70 to 90k for a team of the week. I think his gold card would come in about 10-15k. In the end of the day, I think he'll end up being the fastest card, or at least the joint fastest card with Mbappe, but obviously we can't spell Mbappe. But obviously Mbappe would be significantly more. Yeah, it literally would be the joint fastest card. So it'd probably be a pretty decent investment. It'd be a pretty decent investment just because he would literally be the fastest player. And he might be an exception to the 50 to 100k cards not performing too well. There's Adeyemi. Second player we think we're going to go and get is going to be a Matthias de Ligt. Now, I'll be honest with you, his card does not look amazing. But if you guys can recast your memory back to last year, we had Hummels getting a first team of the week who had like 56 pace and the uptick to 70. So de Ligt should go and get himself a team of the week for 1 goal and a clean sheet against Southampton. We'd probably end up with a semi-decent card. I don't imagine he'll be too expensive because his base card won't be very expensive. The hype around using his card shouldn't be too high. He will have Man United tax, where Man United players are just always significantly more because they're the most followed club in the world, which rises their price even if the card doesn't have the ability, let's say. But yeah, I could see de Ligt's card probably being about 20-30k. I don't think it'll be amazing. I think they'll just give him low 70 pace. Obviously, his card will probably be subjective on how much pace they give him. But about 20-30k I can imagine for a de Ligt card. Let's go and move on to is Haaland, although I don't think Haaland is going to get one because EA kind of gatekeep team of the week from high-rated players, because the idea, right, is Haaland is a 91 rated player. EA is going to want to milk the living daylights of Haaland. They're going to want to give him, I don't know, road to the final cards. They're going to want to give him foot birthday cards. They're going to want to give him obviously team of the week. He'll get a team of the year. And because they know they're going to milk the living daylights out of Haaland, they don't just want to go and give him a team of the week for 2 goals. Because Haaland gets 2 goals for breakfast. So what they'll do is he'll potentially go and get 2 goals. Someone else on the team might go and get 1 goal. And they'll go, well, you can have it over Haaland's 1 goal because we know that you're probably not going to get loads of team of the weeks and loads of special cards. Whereas Haaland's going to get loads of team of the weeks and special cards. Do you know what though? I'm not quite sure who... Oh, an Edison assist. Well, there you go. You probably would see an Edison team of the week. Sorry, I completely missed that. Although, you might see an Edison team of the week, but he did go and concede a goal, which is quite detrimental for goalkeepers getting team of the weeks. But an Edison assist would probably outweigh a double Haaland goal. I completely missed that, I can't lie. Now going to move on to the next game. That is Villa versus Everton. Now, this is kind of the thing, right? Watkins scores 2 goals. It's kind of a bigger deal than Haaland scoring 2 goals, despite Watkins obviously being quite prolific, but he's 85 rated. There's so much room to go and give this guy team of the weeks. They'll give him a team of the week for 2 goals in comparison to Haaland. But yeah, Watkins should go and get himself a team of the week. How much is Watkins team of the week? Watkins team of the week is only about 40-50k. I don't think he's very expensive. His gold card comes in about 10k. I'd be surprised if his inform card, unless they go and increase his skill moves, unless they go and significantly increase his pace. He's just a very run-of-the-mill card. So yeah, I only think it'd be about 30-40k. We then move on to Real Madrid now. Obviously, we look for the big teams to go and get a nice team of the week. Your Real Madrid, your Bayern Munich, your AC Milans, your Cities, Uniteds, Liverpools. And kind of Real Madrid kind of lacked a bit in giving us a nice team of the week for a team week 1. Vinicius Jr. got a goal, Mbappe got a goal. Are they going to go and give our 91 rated Mbappe and 90 rated Vinicius Jr. a team of the week for 1 goal? Hey, if they were Pogba in previous FIFAs, they probably, but I don't think we're going to go a team of the week there. But Captain America should be getting himself a team of the week. Captain America pulled in a goal and assist in a 4-0 win over Venezia. Let's hope it's right. Now, this team of the week, I'll be honest with you, it probably comes in about 70k. I think he's an expensive team of the week with 5-star weak foot, 4-star skills. I think his base card would be about 10-15k, looking at how much Anderson and co were last year. So yeah, I think his team of the week card could definitely come in about, again, 60-70k, maybe even pushing to, closer to 100k if we go and compare him to, I don't know, having the demand of someone like a Dybala. Next game we're going to move on to is going to be Boniface. Boniface got himself 2 goals and 2 goals and an assist. Team of the week, again, you need a significant pace increase. Obviously, he's already got a playstyle plus, which is nice. Again, they did this a lot more this year, giving 82 raters playstyle pluses, but would need a significant pace increase, maybe a skill moves increase, for him to really be worth much more than like 30, 40k. Then move on to the next player, Hurricane. Hurricane got himself 2 goals, 1 pen, and a assist. Very, very nice. No trophies though. But yeah, already got the finesse. Probably gets a semi-nice pace increase. It's quite comparable to last year's Lewandowski. Lewandowski got himself Team of the Week last year in Team of the Week 1, where they were, what did they take him from? 75 pace to 77 pace. They didn't nice him that much. +1 shooting. This is the sort of upgrade I'd expect, although I'd imagine they'll give him a bigger pace upgrade to make him more usable. But yeah, Hurricane getting himself 18 a week in Team Week 1. And this is onto our penultimate one, Zakaria. Zakaria went and pulled himself. By the way, obviously there were players who did go and get themselves other contributions, but only covered the ones that are interesting for FIFA. I'm sure there's probably some Sporting Lisbon player who played well, or some Mallorca player that played well, but we don't care about those cards. They don't really do anything for FIFA. They're not, they're not whetting anyone's appetite. Zakaria got a goal and assist in a 3-0 win over Auxiliary Cord. And yeah, would end up having a really nice team of the week. Probably again only about 30, 40k. But yeah, some of the, I mean, he'd get the defending over 80, which would be nice. Obviously, he'd have decent pace. But in the end of the day, Monaco are just completely lacking. You got, oh god, long are the days of what, Ben Yedder and I don't know who else was there, but yeah, Ben Yedder. Oh, it's a rough team nowadays. And then we move on to the last one of Dembele. Dembele pulling in 2 goals for a 2-1 win over Brest. Again, he'd be a top-end team of the week. Just like how Salah was a 300k gold card and a 700k team of the week, I think we're looking at Dembele, who's about a 200 to 250k gold card, and then the team of the week is going to be about 500k. Which would then mean, for those again that are interested in what we said previously, his team of the week at 500k would be a better investment than a gold card at 500k, but it wouldn't be a better investment than an icon at 500k. An icon who's 500k probably goes from again about 500k to probably about 800-900k, if not a million. A gold card goes from about 500k to 700k. His team of the week would probably do like 500k to 800k. So better than a gold card, but worse than an icon. And that about wraps it up. As I say, there is loads and loads of information coming out thick and fast this time of the year. So yeah, only 3 days away from the web app. I'm sure we'll have some probably pre-web app information coming out, so we'll make sure to cover all that. Hopefully you guys did learn something in today's video. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video.